Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the LAB. This is their part number FSC7V25. This is a vial of 25 of their brass spring covers. And spring covers are used, or these are used in the pinning of interchangeable core material. I have one here to show you that we can go over. When you buy one, you're buying a vial, a plastic vial of 25 pieces, and this is specifically the 7-pin version. They make a 6 and a 7-pin. These are going to be used for those small format cores that are slide cover, capped, so to speak. Not individually capped, but a single slide cover. I happen to like slide covers because I'm lazy. Individually capping cores, I just see that an investment in time that could be spent pinning cylinders. And I also believe that the overall investment to finish off the top of the cylinder is smaller when you're not buying a capping press, or if you're not individually capping them. I was introduced, I learned how to pin small format in the early 1990s, and spring covers, slide covers were an option. So I immediately realized, okay, one will take less time than the other. I was the predecessor, I suppose, of the millennial generation looking for a less laborious way to do things. Overall length, 1.062. 1.062. The overall width when it's not staked, 0.214. 0.214 is the width. Thickness of the material, 0.011. 0.01. Okay. When you buy one, you're buying a vial of 25. There is some supporting documentation to this item, so let's switch to the screen view where we can take a look. Okay, this is the item that we're looking at. We have some extended description. Original design, brass, 7-pin, and basically says 25 each in a vial. The V stands for vial. When you buy one, we're going to send you one vial of 25. Link to the manufacturer page can be seen here. Let's click on that and pull up the full line product catalog, and then we'll search for our part number, which is FSCV25. Nope, FSC7V25. That's going to be on page 7 of the full line catalog, where you can review the 6-pin version and the 7-pin version in a vial of 25 or a vial of 100 of either way. If you are capping, there are some caps for you. The rest of the catalog will allow you to go through other related products. Obviously, if you're pinning this material, you might need some springs. Okay, you'll need 6 or 7 times the amount of springs as you will caps. So you might need some springs. There are some Falcon Arrow Schlage small format and Keymark, Medico Keymark. Best length springs are here. It's obviously very important to have the correct spring because the way the material has been engineered to work correctly is based on every dimensional property involved in the entire system. Obviously, pins would be something you might be interested in as well. And they're going to be able to provide us with pins for your A2, A3, A4 systems, mentioned here, both in non-color coded and color coded. So you might need pins as well. If you're doing your best type system, you know how those are numbered. You can buy them in vials. You can buy them in like a packaged version as well, where you tear the packaging open. I do like the vials because they're easier, I guess, to stack in your locksmith inventory and easier to locate. Packaging is, just to me less organized is the bottom line. Lots of other pins built to original equipment specifications for a variety of manufacturers. Obviously, the name Lab is synonymous with the entire kits. I've owned a wedge, an emerald wedge, forever. Actually, my current tool is a Classic Pro, is what I have, and I've been working with Lab products for 30 years. I don't, and I own more than just the Classic wedge. I do small format with Lab. The garden variety material works very well with Lab equipment. There are some times when you can't afford or you are not able to use Lab equipment because they don't make the pins necessary. This Corbin kit that's here is, don't quote me, but I do not believe this will allow you to do, oh, it does say mastering right there. Okay, I didn't think mastering was included. So the bottom line is, with this kit, you can certainly do it. In the Classic Pro, it will be missing lots of different pins as well. So be mindful to be sure that you have the proper kit. I would, quite frankly, recommend the manufacturer's original kit for doing specific technologies by the manufacturer, like Master Ring, or like ASA, or like Medico. There's something to it when you're using original equipment. Some very small little tiny kits. If you are a weekend warrior, this might be right up your alley to do some easy Schlage stuff. It's not difficult to learn how to pin locks at all. You'll see it, occasionally people doing it at a big box store. And if you might find that a very helpful service to be able to provide yourself and your family. I do believe that hiring a locksmith in the long term is the easiest way to go. But nonetheless, not everyone is of that opinion. These the Woody kits down here, I don't recall which of these I own. It's probably, I don't recall. It might be the BWF 108, because I do prefer to use Falcon core because they're in stock. The slide covers are very much in stock, etc. That's all there. These mini Durex pinning kits, those are fun as well. Very inexpensive. If you take a beginning locksmithing class, you might get one of these included in your tuition. I know that I have, etc. So the catalog is super helpful with a variety of all things locksmithing tools. This capping tool, if you do Schlage work, is this is a very expensive tool, and I begrudge having to order them because of how expensive they are, but I can tell you that they outrageously decrease the amount of time spent on pinning the material. What you want to be sure to do is to not drop these and bend or damage the fine pins at all, because that will render the tool quite ineffective on one side of the tool. Obviously doing your threaded cap material two different ways, just a really, really great tool. Depending on what cylinder you're working on. Picks, plug followers, tweezers. There are people that pin locks that are either tweezer users or those that are not. Just pick pick the way that you like to do it. A Medico biaxial pin decoder is here. A way to remember this is key blank quality Medico does sell. Fore and aft pins, you've got left, center, and right of each. 6 different depths. It's a single step, no parity system. Max is dependent on how you have your maximum adjacent cut specification, is dependent on if you have 4 next to 4 or 4 next to aft or aft next to aft. It's either 2, 3, or 4 is what that is. 4 with aft, it'll be the small one. Key gauges, pinning kits, pinning trays. I don't use one, and I call myself foolish every time that I could really use one. Anyway, the catalog is very helpful to discover everything lab related, and I would encourage you to review it. Let's finish up this video on camera. Admittedly, I'm unapologetically a fan of LAB. I think everyone who deals in locksmithing has some LAB tools or kits at some point. They make a very high-quality product. I have, I think in 3 decades, only found one pin that I suspected to be a bad pin. Literally, one time in 3 decades. They are an original equipment manufacturer, as I said earlier, for many manufacturers, not for everyone. I've actually heard it said that they cannot manufacture the pins that ASA requires for their system. And plus there will be a variety of European manufacturers who, in addition to ASA, will have quite specialized items that we don't see those cylinders. We don't see European profile cylinders in a DOM system, in the United States ever. I've never seen one here at all. It's somewhat unusual enough, I suppose, to see a profile cylinder to begin with. So they're not going to make everything for everybody, but the material that we use here in North America, the garden variety material, is quite exceptional. There is a thought about having color-coded pins, 2 arguments, I suppose, to that. Really helpful when you take a pin out of the kit and, oh gosh, where did that go? Well, I know it was right over here, and then you pick the color and put it back in the kit. But an educated observer could look into that kit and make some pretty educated, look into the plug and make some pretty educated conclusions as to what pin is there. So you may, as a locksmith, you may want to, if you are strictly adhering to best practice, reconsider color-coded pins. But, does someone open a lock by identifying the possible length of the pins, etc.? Yeah, I suppose it certainly has happened. I've never known of it firsthand myself. If you have any questions on the LAB, this is their part number, FSC7V25, package of 25 7-pin slide covers, brass slide covers, or any other LAB product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.